Good evening, everyone from Bangladesh. You know, today is Children's Day. Every child is a different flower in world. They make the world a beautiful garden. So the platform of Uddan Little Magazine wish every children in world for such a special day of Happy Children's Day. The sky of poetry is one. Language of poets are different because they from different countries. But the tone of poetry are same. This evening, I am Toufiq Zohur as a host, now going to announce the name of today's selected honorable poet. First of all, I am going to introduce Mr. Shaheen Reza. I am introducing one of the important poet who from Bangladesh. He is Mr. Shaheen Reza. He is the generations of 80s. His first book was published in 1982. He is a renowned poet, essayist, children writer, short story writer, and journalist. His first book name was Water in the Fire. He started writing when he was in school life. He is also an editor of a little magazine whose name is Kobi or Kobita. His total book number 29, he got many important awards from Bangladesh and India for his great contribution for Bengali poetry. Now coming, poet Shain Reza to read out his first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tawfiq Johur. Thank you and thanks for all the poets at today's session. Thank you and welcome. আমার কবিতার নাম উড্ডয়িনী রাত। মাঝরাতে ছায়ারা পালায়, আমিও ছায়ার সাথী। শয্যা ছেড়ে উঠে আসি, কার্ল মার্কস ঝুলে থাকে জামার ভেতর। আমিও দরজা খুলি, রাতের খিলান, পৃথিবীর দেহ জুড়ে আধারের দেয়ালি উৎসব। আমি হাঁটি ছায়া হাতে, হেঁটে হেঁটে চলে যাই রেসকোর্স পার হয়ে রমনা সবুজ, বেইলি রোড ছুঁয়ে ছুঁয়ে শান্তিনগর, রেসকোর্স টপকে গিয়ে কমলাপুর কমলাপুর, শব্দ করে ছেড়ে যায় কুয়াশার ট্রেন। ছায়ারা কাঁপে, আমার দেহ জুড়েই শব্দের ঢেউ, ট্রেনের কামরা থেকে উকি দেয়, চোখ মারে, ছায়াহীন কায়া এক, হেসে ওঠে কেউ। ছায়ারা হাঁটতে জানে, দীর্ঘ পথ পাড়ি দিতে অক্ষম আমি। মানবেরা হেঁটে যায়, ক্লান্ত শ্রান্ত দেহ, অক্ষমতা খেলা করে যুবকের চোখে। কার্ল মার্কস ফুঁসে ওঠে বগলের নিচে। আমি তো ছায়ার সাথী, আমার সঙ্গী রাত। মাঝরাতে ইজের খোলে, করুণার জল দেয় অক্টাভিও পাঁচ। ছায়ারা নিমিষে কাঁপে, কুয়াশার হাত, কবিতার পাখা হয়ে উড্ডয়িনী রাত। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, poet Shendeja, for your beautiful imagination poet you have to read now. Now I am introducing Mr. Soumit Basu. Now I am introducing one of the eminent poet who from India. He is Mr. Soumit Basu. He is a teacher by profession. He started writing since childhood. He writes in almost all prominent journal and magazine like Desh, Anandabajar, Sananda, Protikhon, Shattovisa, Kobipatro, Pritibas, Jigyasa, and many more. He is the author of 25 books. For his outstanding contribution to poetry, Mr. Soumit Basu has received many prestigious awards from India and Bangladesh. He is the editor of Nostochak, Kobipatro, Anando, Onno Kobita, and Baromas Potrika. He is the generations of 80s. Now coming, poet Soumit Basu to read out his first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of Bengali poetry, I would like to greet the poets of different languages. This work of Uddan TV will be written in golden pen in the history of poetry in the future. Congratulations to brother Toufiq Zohur for giving us the opportunity to witness this history. Even though I am not understanding the language of other poets, but I can feel, I must feel the rhythm of their poetry. Poetry is not saying anything, it is playing. Poetry, that music is vibrating our pores. I'm reading my own poem with love to everyone. আজ যেহেতু চিলড্রেন ডে, সন্তান উপস্থিত আছে, সন্তানের অস্তিত্ব রয়েছে, এমন একটি কবিতা পড়ছি, মায়াবউ সিরিজের 56 সংখ্যক কবিতা। আমার সংসার আমি ফেলে যাই পাহাড় চূড়ায়, পাখির ঠোঁটের মতো ভালোবাসাগুলি দূরে দূরে জেগে ওঠে অন্ধকার নিথর শহর। সব ছেড়ে আমি ডানা মেলি, যেখানে বাণিজ্য আছে, নতুন দেশের দিকে ফিরে যাই, ফেলে রেখে হৃদয় আমার। ধরা যাক এই ওড়া শেষ ওড়া হলো, সমস্ত বাণিজ্য তরী ডুবে যায় এক এক করে। তোমার গর্ভ জুড়ে আগামীতে জন্ম নেবে যে সোনার ভোর, তাকে দিও মুঠোয় জমিয়ে রাখা আলো, পিতার সূত্র ধরে জেগে ওঠা জন্মের রহস্যটুকু। আমার সন্তান আমি ফেলে যাই পাহাড় চূড়ায়, ও সবুজ ও পাহাড় তুমি তাকে আগলিয়ে রেখো। তৌফিক।
Thank you, poet Soumit Basu, for your beautiful poem you have to read. Now I am introducing Annette Tarpley from USA. Now I am introducing one of the persuasive poets who is from USA. She is Annette Tarpley. Now her residence in Virginia. Whole day she works, but at night she writes poetry. Her poetry book named Poetry Potpourri, which is available on Amazon and Barnes, and novel comprised of a variety of over 110 poems released in February 2021. To Heart, a journey into heartfelt poet, who is co-author poet Sarfraz Ahmed. Her feature, her feature published many international poetry festival. Her currently work into a anthology which is featuring over 100 selected poets around globe. Now coming, Annette Tarpley to read out her first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very privileged to be here amongst you all, and look forward to listening to you all present today. So since this is Children's Day, I'm going to read a poem called The Power of a Mother's Love. From the moment she first feels the fluttering within her womb, a mother feels love, a love of connection like no other, for it is unconditional and without reproach. Unselfishly, she nurtures and cries or carries the baby within her, keenly aware that she of this miracle that she holds within, that it is growing within her, her own piece of heaven. The power of love has the momentum to bond a mother to her child. From the onset, the feeling of movement within her womb, she will bond with her baby for life. No force or principality will sever this unity, for she loves innately, without restraint and with such veracity. Its cry does not distress, as is music to her ears, a melody that unfolds in an orchestra and orchestrates the love that she feels, a crescendo into her kaleidoscope of love, speckled with colors that morph into patterns as it creates a masterpiece of art, a beautiful human being that she hangs in her gallery of her heart, a private display that soon unfolds as the audience observes, that they can see the undying love that is clear and evident to the beholder. Loving her child for who they are, molding her child into what they will become as she sculpts her creation into her own essence of love. A mother will instantly fall in love with her child. She will nurture the soul. She will their formidable presence in their lives, a presence that is felt as she walks the earth and continues into the journey beyond the sunset. Has no memory time constraints, no knowledge of a beginning or end, as it perpetually spins its eternal love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Annette Tarpley, for your beautiful poem. Now I am calling Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed. Now I am introducing one of the prominent poet who is from United Kingdom. He is Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed. He has been writing poetry for he was 18 years old and has contributed to many anthologies. His published book include poetry debut 84 pins. He has children book. He has published second collections of poetry along with poet Annette Tarpley. He got many awards from different places of world. We can find him at open mic event where he has shared his poetry globally. Now coming Mr. Sarfaraz Ahmed to read out his first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, it's an honor to be here, and an honor to read my poetry to everyone who's listening. And this is fantastic. So I've actually got the first of two poems, but I'll read the first one. And as it is Children's Day, I'm going to read actually a bit of a sad poem, but it's called A Motherless Child. Um, a child, a mother who is lost children, and in the world we do have this situation. So this is from the book Two Hearts that I wrote with the fantastic Annette Tarpley, who you've just seen, and this is called Motherless Child. Motherless child. She once stood upright, now her body is bent, her chest is tight, her bones are twisted and her heart is broke. As she wept, her tears bled and choked, dressed in all her finery, a soul full of dread, as she kneeled over the body of the dead and hung her head. She held on to herself and to whatever she could find. She held on to hearts and her mind, as she cried to the heavens and to the stars above, as she gazed upon the child she loved. As she crumbled and fell apart, her mascara bled, dripped rivers of blood, pure liquid gold, tugged at the heartstrings of all those close to her, the young and the old. All who saw her felt her pain, as her tears rolled down her face again and again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, poet Sarfaraz Ahmed, for your beautiful poem. Now I am calling Kelly Ntilia from Greece. Now I am introducing one of the important poetess. She is Kelly Ntilia. She is from Greece. She is a Greek awarded poet and writer. She has been writing poems since she was 17 years old. She has published three poetic collections in Greek. She has participated in several national and international literature competitions and has won many prestigious awards. She is the General Secretary in the Union of Authors and Writers in Argolida region where she lives. She is also a volunteer in Greek prison where she conducted poetry seminars and workshops. Now coming, Geli Antilia to read out her first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toufiq. Congratulations for this initiative to gather us all here. Thank you for having me to be among all those recognized poets from all over the world. I'll read my poem first in English, and then I'll read it in my language, which is Greek. The title is In Succession. When I write, I'm an empress, a freak, a criminal, a divine. I am what you want me to be. I am what I would love to be. And now in Greek. Με τη σειρά. Όταν γράφω, είμαι αυτοκράτηρα, φρικιό, εγκληματίας, θεότητα. Είμαι αυτό που θέλεις να είμαι. Είμαι αυτό που εγώ θα ήθελα. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful, heart-touching poetry you have to read now. Now I am calling my friend Gerlinde Staffler, who is from Italy. Now I am introducing one of the well-known poetess in the world. She is Gerlinde Staffler. She is from Italy. She is a teacher by profession. She studied 4 languages: Italian, German, English, and Old Latin. Different online magazines and anthologies have been published her poem and others' work. Her poem Hands was the highest visualization in Italy. 90,000 people were seen. She has won uncountable international prizes and awards on different global poetry platforms. Now coming, Gerlinde Staffler to read out her first poem today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toufiq. It's an honor and opportunity for me to be with you all. And today I would like to recite my poem, Soumit, Childhood. How beautiful it was to dunk the nose in the intimacy of blooming sands, of white emotions of spread flowers, to touch with fresh morning eyes, shimmering butterflies in festive clothes, to greet an emerald caterpillar looking up, to let hover my gaze over flashes of grass, wondering if behind the green curtains my zooming vision can enlarge the world, for the beauty of small, graceful pleasures. Bouncing around in a self-made paradise of laughter, joy, and wide open eyes, our hearts were gladdened by sunny smiles. Barefoot we conquered the surrounding space, muddy, stony, dirty brown on the surface. We were regularly one with the explored place. Wild and free, bustling like honeybees, we circled, we ran, we climbed trees. From there we looked up towards heaven, grabbing the plains in an outspread blue, pulling and pushing myriads of silky clouds. In afternoons when the calm hang out there, our chattering voices fill the quiet air. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem, Gerlinde Staffler. Now I'm calling Yanita Ismail, our today's very much youngest poet. Now coming Yanita Ismail, I'm introducing her. She is Yanita Ismail. She is a persuasive poet who from Indonesia. She is Yanita Ismail. She has started writing since 2018. She joined international poetry contests and challenges and achieved certificate already. She got Shakespeare Medal from motivational scripts. She has been honored by Gujarat Sahitya Academy. Her poem has been published in many anthologies and online magazines. Now coming Yanita Ismail to read out her first poem today. Thank you. Please unmute your phone. Unmute your phone.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy I get this opportunity to read my poem. Uh, the term it is to respect street child, and the title of my poem is I Met a Street Child. It was a sunny day. I went to a Padang restaurant. The sky looked bright and blue. I met a street child who was cheerful and tough. He walked down the highway. He didn't care the sun scorching. His laughter hid the mystery of life, fighting for a plate of rice. An innocence emitted in his eyes. He told, at school hours, he spent time in the garbage dump, looking for leftovers and cardboard. Day and night, wishing for donation. My heart was aching and tore apart, seeing him alone with no place to home. Yeah,
Thank
that's my
you.
part.
Thank you, Yanita Ismail, for
Thank you
your
so much.
beautiful poem.
Thank you.
Before I go to poet Shaheen Reza, I am going to reading some visitors' comments. Sarola Balachandran is telling, hello everyone. Poet Kabir Hussain, the generations of 90s, he is telling a rich poetry festival enjoying biography and poems. Thank you. Stay with us. Now I am going to poet Shaheen Reza to read out his second poem today. Now coming poet Shaheen Reza. Please unmute your phone. Please unmute your phone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, we all are poets, and for this, we are equal. We are equal at heart, at mind, and everything. Yanita Ismail, Indonesia, Tarpley from USA, Sarfraz from UK, memou from Greece, Staffler from Italy, Ntilia from Greece, Soumit Basu from India, and the host Toufiq Zohur. All the poets are here, and it's a pleasure for us. Totally, it's a pleasure for us. It's a poetry day. I feel, I feel it's a poetry day, and at this day, I congratulate all the poets from 8 countries. আমার কবিতাটির নাম কোলাহল। হয়তো ছিল দরজাগুলো খোলা, হয়তো ছিল শ্রাবণ হাওয়ায় শিরীষ মাতামাতি, একটি শালিক খুঁজছিল তার বোধ, মুগ্ধ আলোয় পালক নাচানাচি। হয়তো ছিল উঠোন জুড়ে তুলসী আঁকা জল, তারই সাথে শালুক শালুক রোদ। হয়তো ছিল তোমার দুচোখ আকাঙ্ক্ষাতে লীন, হয়তো ছিল দিন, হয়তো ছিল দরজাগুলা খোলা, তবুও বাতাস নাড়ছিল সব কড়া। হয়তো ছিল দুপুর জুড়ে প্রাণীর নিমন্ত্রণ, হয়তো তুমি ডেকেছিলে কুহক কোন স্বরে, তবুও আমি দেইনি কোনো সাড়া। হয়তো তোমার সেই সে অভিমান অশ্রু হয়ে ছুড়ল এসে শালিয়া বহের মাঠে। হয়তো ছিল হয়তো ছিল কষ্ট সুনিপুণ, তুমিও ছিলে দাঁড়িয়েছিলে আড়ালটুকু ছাড়া। আমার আকাশ মেঘের আকাশ, নেই তো তবু জল, তোমার জলে উঠল জেগে আমার কোলাহল। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you for your beautiful poem, poet Shaheen Reza. Excellent poetry you have to read now. Now I am going to India to come out Mr. Soumit Basu. Now coming Soumit Basu to read out his second poem today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tofik. I am reading the same series, Mayabou 73. মায়াবউ সিরিজের ৭৩ সংখ্যক কবিতা। এক একটি ফাটলের কাছে আমরা কখনো কখনো ঋণী হয়ে থাকি। সে অলক্ষ্যে বুঝিয়ে দেয় এখন পেছনে ফেরার সময় এসেছে। যে কোনো যুদ্ধই আসলে হাত সাফাই, যে কোনো প্রেমই আসলে তুরন্ত অভিনয়, যে কোনো কান্নাই আসলে দেয়ালের গায়ে এঁকে রাখা পরাজয়। ঝাঁক ঝাঁক নৌকো এগিয়ে চলেছে মহাসমুদ্রে, কার যে কাকে ভালো লেগে যায়। ভালো লাগা আসলে একটা সবুজ কলম, দীর্ঘদিন পরে কালি পুড়লে যার মুখ দিয়ে কবিতা বেরিয়ে আসে। থ্যাংক ইউ তৌফিক।
Thank you, poet Soumit Basu, for your excellent imagination poet. Again, you have to read from Mayabou series. Now, I am going to USA to request poet Annette Tarpley to read out her second poem today. Now, coming Annette Tarpley.
Okay, thank you very much. I do a lot of storytelling with my poems. This one is a story about a grandfather teaching his granddaughter a lesson. It's called The Watermill. Excuse me. Papa, take me to the watermill, his young granddaughter pleaded and whined. She tugged on his trousers and stated, I'm bored. There's nothing to do that I can find. They got into the car and drove to the mill, looking at this way. The dogwood trees in blossom, the redbuds looking mighty fine along the ride. As they neared the mill, they looked at the creek that supplied the old country water mill. They got out of the car and raced down to the creek. Papa let her win, for it gave her a thrill. They waded in the creek and looked up at the water mill, its wooden wheel turning in perfect time. The sun shone bright and its beams were a delight, warming them to the core. The feeling was sublime. They sat on the grass, their feet in the creek, and they watched the water cascade off the wheel. He took a handful of water and showed it to her. It said, this is life. Touch it and feel. Papa, she said, shaking her head, I don't get what you mean water is life. Papa looked down at her and held her hand and said, without water, nothing would thrive. Still holding her hand, he said, everything needs water, people, plants, and animals too. Without it, life would cease to exist for all, including me and you. Years went by. Papa had long since died. His granddaughter was now a grandmother. Her granddaughter said, Nana, can we go to the watermill? I need to get away from my brother. They took the trip and they arrived at the mill, racing immediately to the creek. They ran. Her Nana took some water in her hand and said, this is life. Let me teach you so that you can understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your beautiful poem you have to read now. The title of our episode is The World of Poetry Recitation in Poet Voice, Part 12. Yes, the episode is 61 is going on. Now from USA, we are going to United Kingdom. Now I request to poet Sarfraz Ahmed to read out his second poem now. Now coming Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed to read out his second poem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My first poem was a bit very emotional because it was all about a mother losing a child. This is a little bit more enjoyable. It's from my own memory of going to my uncle's house and spending many hours there, and the fun that we had as a child, as children. And so this poem is from Two Hearts that I wrote with the fantastic Annette Tarpley. So it's from the book. It's called My Uncle's House. I hope you enjoy it. My uncle's house. My uncle's house sat at the bottom of the hill. People would come and go. Life never stood still. The door never locked. We couldn't find the key. We played all day, then came back for tea. The summers were golden, they glistened and shone upon the kids playing in the streets, having some fun. The house was crumbling, the plaster was cracking, we had no colouring books, so we drew on the back of wallpaper that was peeling off and falling down. We'd ripped some more off the wall when no one was around. In the backyard, a dog paced up and down, a grey shepherd, German shepherd, with freckles of brown. We carefully balanced our small cousin on his back and went up and down on the backyard. We played the dog fast, we played him hard. In the living room, my uncle would sit, smoke his cigarettes and ash, little by little, bit by bit, while the video machine took center stage, played non-stop films that were all the rage, Bollywood musicals, followed by some kung fu action. Often I look up the grown-ups to see their reaction. In my uncle's house, we sat in smoke-filled rooms. We watched these movies through the night and breathed in the fumes. In bed late at night, our pillows would come to life, exploding cloth and such like. They entangled with our dreams late into the night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem. It's just like a musical lyric we have to heard. Already our another participant has to join. She is Voula memou from Greece. Now I am introducing one of the well-known poets who from Greece. She is Voula memou. She is a poetess, film director. In 1984 and 1985, her poems were published in Hydria and Ostraka magazine. Her first directional work was the short film Altamira, and in her career, she collaborated with important Greek actors. The film, based on her poetry entitled The Great Power of the Sea, was shot in 2008. She has collaborated as a news journalist with many newspapers in Peloponnese. In 1985, her first collections of poems entitled Traversing came out in 2006. She published a book with news articles entitled Living Speechlessly. Her poems have been published in many anthologies, and the Greek Literature Encyclopedia Harry Patsy hosts her poems. Her collections of poems entitled Upon Andromeda's Rock came out 2018. The collections of poems entitled You Are the Man came out 2019. She has won numerous awards, Docite World Poetry Prize. She is the member of the National Union of Literature in Greece. Now coming Voula memou to read out her first poem today. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Congratulations to all poets, and I am very proud to be with you. I will read the poem in Greek language. It is Flower Celebrations of the Love, ανθιστήρια του έρωτα. Περίτεχνα έπληξα τα χέρια μου στους καταράχτες των ματιών σου, ζωντανεύοντας τα απολιθώματα των στεναγμών, τα λιβάδια της σταυρωμένης Περσεφόνης. Οι καμιλιέριδες της ερήμου βρήκαν τα προσκυνητάρια των μαργαριταριών και έγιναν τρόφιμοι στα γκρεμνά του λαοδίκη ποντοπόρου έρωτα. Σε κοίταξα κατάματα, σχεδόν υπνοτισμένη, εγώ ο ταξιδευτής της αγάπης, κρύβοντας χιλιάδες δάκρυα σε κατακόμβες αποκρυφισμού. Η γέννηση, ή μάλλον η αναγέννηση, έμοιαζε πατημένο μονοπάτι του κορμιού σου την αλαβάστινη παλοπλία. Στρατιές αγγέλων λούστηκαν τα χρώματα του ουρανού το λιόγερμα, σαν φτωχοί προσκυνητές των μεγάλων ψαλμών, ενός επίγειου Θεού μεγάλων θαυμάτων. Έγειρα στο στήθος σου, κράτησα την ανάσα μου, αφού γκράστηκα της καρδιάς σου τον χτύπο και με σφαλιστά μάτια κίνησα για τον πύργο του έρωτα. Το περιστήλιο του ωραίου, οι χελιδονοφολιές άνθησαν πάλι με καινούριες ζωές. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem. Now I am going to Geli and Ntilia. Again, I am going to Greece. Geli Ntilia to coming to read out her second poem today. Now coming Geli Ntilia. Thank you.
My second poem is called Redemption. I'll read it in English first and then in Greek. You can erase your errors, your faults, your sins with kilos of correction fluid, boxes of rubbers with heavy pain, a lot of confessions with prayers, or simply with love. You can. Εξηλαίωση. Μπορείς να σβήσεις τα λάθη, τα σφάλματα, τις αμαρτίες σου, με κοιλάδι ορθωτικού υγρού, με κυβότια γομολάστιχες, με βαρύ πόνο, με πολλή εξομολόγηση, με προσευχή ή απλά με αγάπη. Μπορείς. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem. Again, you have to read. Now I'm going to from Greece to Italy. Now coming Gerlinde Staffler to read out her second poem today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. My second poem is entitled A Story of a Midnight Dream. It speaks simply about love. A story of a midnight dream. My feet on the ground, whimsical toes drawing in fine sand, prickling sea breeze on my skin, tingling sensations rise within. Lightful thoughts reach the starry sky, on wings of desire they want to fly. Twinkling stars collect them with fancy, to guide them in secret lands we can't see. I close my eyes to float in the air, soft wind is playing with my hair. Fingers pick a bright spot from firmament, a gift I want to lay on the palm of your hand. Bring it near to your precious heart. Feel the rapid vibes it gives you inward. It contains my love in one piece. Joy and happiness it will release. This is the story of my midnight dream, written in the sand by my toes team. Carried by the waves out in the sea, heard by dashing wind, and brought to thee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerlinde Staffler, for your beautiful poem. From the Italy, now we are going to Indonesia. Now coming Yanita Ismail to read out her second poem today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toufiq sir. I will read my second poem in my language, Bahasa, and the title is Tenggelam Dalam Kelam. Kulihat namaku semakin tenggelam di malam yang semakin kelam, memudar di balik cahaya suram. Syairku ku terjemahkan sendiri, dalam sunyi ku baca dan ku ratapi. Akankah seekor burung ikut bernyanyi? Suara angin mulai membisu, bersua dengan hati yang pilu. Waktunya tiba, aku menangis haru. Kemana si burung itu pergi? Hatiku berteriak memanggil pagi. Namun malam terasa begitu lama sekali. Di mana sang mentari itu? Sudah lama aku tak melihat cahayanya yang terang beradu. Ataukah aku hanya akan bertemu kelabu? Thank you so much. It is about despair in poet's soul. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. From Indonesia again, our poetry aeroplane has to land it in Bangladesh. Now I'm going to poet Shaheen to read out his third poem. Now I request to poet Shaheen to read out his third poem. Now coming poet Shaheen.
থ্যাংক ইউ তৌফিক। আমার এই কবিতাটি আমার সবচেয়ে প্রিয় মানুষ, প্রিয় কবি আল মোহাম্মদকে উৎসর্গ করা। This poem is dedicated to our great poet Al Mahmud. You know, Al Mahmud is the greatest poet of our nation. নিসর্গের হাল। সান্নে নেভেনি বাতি, মেঘ বনে নক্ষত্রের খেলা। শিওরে শিশির ঝরে, বাঁশ ঝাড়ে জোনাকির মেলা। সোনালি কাবিন আছে, সেই সাথে কবিতার রাখি। এভাবে কেটেছে বেলা, টানা মেলা উজানির পাখি। তোমাতে করেছে ম্লান, তোমাতে করেছে ম্লান নীল চাঁদ জুলেখার শাড়ি। সোনার দিনারে চেয়ে বসে থাকা সীমাহীন নারী। সুখের লোবান মেখে সহজেই পাথরের সাপ। কেমন ছবুল তোলো, জেলে দাও নরকের তাপ। বৃষ্টির বিরতি লিখে মাঝরাতে শুয়ে থাকো একা। কোথায় নাদিরা নারী, এত খুঁজে পেলে না তো দেখা। তোমার আড়াল তুলে তুমি তো বসে আছো আজ। কবিতা কার পাশ দিয়ে মুছে ফেলে ললাটের ভাঁজ। অঘোর ঘুমের শেষে হাই তোলে জিরাফের গলা। শব্দের বিনুনি বেঁধে তৃতীয়ায় কি নিবিড় চলা। নদীর গন্ধ শুকে নারীদের কাছাকাছি কত। অজানা গ্রহের মাঝে উড়ালের অভিজ্ঞতা শত। দ্বিতীয় ভাঙন নয়, দৈব মেঘে তুলে দিয়ে পাল। এগুলি অজীয় রথে হাতে নিয়ে নিসর্গের হাল। Thank you very much.
Thank
Salute
you. Thank
again,
you, poet
salute
Shaheen
to our
Reza,
great
for
poet
your
Al
beautiful
Mahmoud.
poem. Now, from Bangladesh, again our poetry aeroplane start towards India. Now, coming poet Soumit Basu to read out his third poem today. Now, coming poet Soumit Basu. Thank you.
Thank you, Toufiq. I am reading in English, then my own language, from the same series, Mayabo 66. I know you were stolen today, that death surrounded in three sides. Those who saw the blazed soul to their hurts fall, and winners. Those who rode on your shoulders fell out from the locks of fear, now sat on dust. Outstretching both hands, I gather crises from dawn. Where the winds rise swiftly, you have drawn breath there. Where is the mistake? Those girls who burn up themselves to be a star, for them I stand steadfast like the pearly star. মায়াবৌ ৬৬। এই দিনে তুমি চুরি হয়ে গেছো জানি, কিংবা মৃত্যু ডেকেছিল তিন দিকে। সেদিন এমনই আনন্দ প্রতিমাকে চোখ ভরে যারা দেখেছিল তারা জয়ী। সেদিন তোমার কাঁধ বেয়ে উঠে যারা ঝরে পড়েছিল গুচ্ছ চুলের থেকে, ধুলোর ওপর বসে দুই হাত মেলে কুড়িয়ে নিয়েছি ভোর রাতে সংকটে। বাতাস যেখানে অতিশয় দ্রুত বয়, সেখানেই শ্বাস নিয়েছ কিসের ভুল। তারা হতে গিয়ে যেসব মেয়েরা পড়ে, আমি তার পাশে ধ্রুব তারা হয়ে থাকি। তৌফিক।
Thank you. Thank you, poet Soumit Basu, for your excellent poetry you have to read. Now, I am reading some visitors' comments. Poet Mahfuza Anonna is telling, congratulations all poet. Poet Abdul Latif also telling best wishes for all poets. Also watching this show, poet Amit Reza Choudhury, reciter Madhuban Chakraborty, and poet Dipannita Vishwas also watching this show. Now I am going to Annette Tarpley to read out her third poem today. Now coming Annette Tarpley. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a short one that I just wrote a couple of days ago. called Close Your Eyes. Close your eyes and imagine the breeze flow through your hair. It is warm and tantalizing, a sweet floral scent in the air. Your eyes may be closed, but alert, your senses are aware. Let us venture on a journey. Hold my hand, I'll take you there. Flying in the sky, such freedom. Then a waterfall we see. Rainbow prisms are created. Elated, your heart is filled with glee. Majestic and beautiful, a tall mountain range we spy, capped with freshly fallen snow, innocence bringing tears to the eyes. See the first-time mother who has just given birth, a love like no other, it will prevail here on earth. A dark and starry sky, young lovers kiss and meet, beginning of their love affair, a tender scene oh so sweet. The moon full and round, reigning in the celestial sky, capturing one's attention, it is candy to your eyes. Whenever you are lonely and a sadness fills your soul, just close your eyes for a moment and let your imagination have control. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem. Now I am going to Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed. Now coming Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed to read out his third poem today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toufiq. Thank you, everyone. It's been a fantastic show. I've been really enjoying myself. My third poem is from my fourth book, which I wrote this year, this August, Stab the Pomegranate. And often people ask me about the romantic poems, the love poems, and they say to me, which is which is the most romantic poem you've ever read? And sometimes, well, there's a lot, but I think this is the one that I'm going to say this is my most romantic poem, called Until, from Stab the Pomegranate. Until. I will wait until you turn your head and look my way, hold my hand, make me sway. I will wait until warm sunsets glow. I will wait until you look into my eyes, until you know. I will wait until young hearts flutter once more, until I am all you need and more. I will wait until walls come down, shatter and divide, until fate moves you, propels you to be by my side. I will wait until two worlds slip and slide, when two souls, two hearts collide. I will wait for that moment when I am all that you see, when time stands still. I will wait for that moment until. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for your beautiful poem. Again, you have to read. Now I am going to Gerlinde and Ntilia to read out her third poem today. Now coming Gerlinde and Ntilia.
So my third poem is called In the Mouth. It's about poetry. Poetry follows me like a faithful dog. She sleeps beside me and eats from my hand. Sometimes the words I feed her aren't of her taste. Then the ordeal begins. Only she knows when it's going to end. Στο στόμα. Η ποίηση με ακολουθεί σαν το πιστό σκυλί. Κοιμάται δίπλα μου, τρώει από το χέρι μου. Καμιά φορά οι λέξεις που την ταΐζω δεν είναι του γούστου της. Τότε αρχίζει το μαρτύριο, που μόνο αυτή ξέρει το τέλος. Thank you.
Thank you very much again for your beautiful poem. Now I am going to Voula memou. Yes, I request you to, ma'am, you read two poems one after one another, because you have to read only one poem. Every poet already has to read three poems completed. You have to read only one poem. So you read one and one. I mean, you read two poems now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, but I have a problem with the sound. Excuse me and sorry. The second poem is Pills in the Sun. Μαργαριτάρια στην άμμο. Λουλούδια της ομίχλης στα σπλάχνα του πεπρωμένου μου φύτρωσες πριν γεννηθώ. Πριν ανθίσουν οι κερασές στο ακροτήρι, μια νύχτα με πανσέλινο. Πριν βραδιάσουν οι θηρεοί της ερήμου, στις γης του πυρός τις πλιάδες. Τα κατάρτια των πλοίων σε ταξίδεψα, πριν σε γνωρίσω, με πανιά γλάρων φτερούγες και ράμφος αϊτού για τιμόνι. Ένα φιλί από βάλσαμο και πικροδάφνη έριξες για σπόρο της ειδονικής μοναξιάς στις πηγές των ποιητών. Ποια μοίρα κλωσάει τη ζωή μου για σένα. Ποια χαρακιά της καρδιάς μου στάζει μέλι και αλάτι στον κρατήρα του κορμιού σου. Σε σπηλιές κοραλιών να γεννηθείς, θησαυρέ μου, με κρυφά νανουρίσματα γοργόνας μάνας. Στεφάνια με φως αστεριών μπολιάζουν τα στήθη μου, πριν χαλάσει το θαύμα της προσμονής. Σ' αγαπώ σου ψιθύρισα και ημέρεψε η θάλασσα. Thank you. The third poem, το τίμημα. Περπατάς σε ένα τεντωμένο σκηνή δίχως εσένα. Τραυματίζεις το αύριο δίχως ενοχές και σπόρους λογικής. Γλιστράς σε εικονικές πραγματικότητες, πλευρίζοντας ύφαλους και λες το ανυπόταρτο υποθέτω σαν να ήταν το άλογο μετέχω σε μυστήρια ανυπαρξίας, έτσι για να δικαιολογείς τη μηδενικότητα της αποσπερμής τόλμης σου. Λογαριάζεις τη νύχτα έναστρη ραψοδία του ανέγγιχτου θέλος σου. Λες και οι μοίρες τυπάνε τύμπανα νίκης και σαν φέξει η ανάστροφη δέηση του απολογισμού. Το τίμημα δεν θέλει μόνο και αλυσοδεμένο. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Voula Mimu, for your beautiful poem, ma'am. Now I am going to my friend Gerlinde Staffler to coming and read out her third poem today. Now coming, Gerlinde Staffler.
Thank you. I would like to read my poem, The Orchid Mantis. The orchid mantis, a master of disguise, a wonder of mimicry in the lush forest, to attract the prey with alluring surprise, performs on a leaf with unsuspicious rest. Eagle eyes unveil the hidden mystery. Minuscule details pierced by sharp pupils. Motions disclose a seminal flower reverie, a tiny thing stirred up by new thrills. Deception is the way of its purpose, a pattern smelled by souls of honesty. At length, it turns to an infallible curse, glances of sun uncover hypocrisy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerlinde Staffler, for your beautiful poem. Now, finally, I am going to Yanita Ismail to come and read out her third poem today. Now, coming, Yanita Ismail.
Okay, thank you so much. I will read my third poem. It is about, it is dedicated for someone who means a lot to me. I hope he watched me today. Dear R, the title is Dear R. Dear R, how are you doing? Hope you are doing good and safe. There are millions of people who strive to stay healthy in their lives. All you have shared to me were too nice. You told me about the world and the skies. Now you probably need a new place where the peaceful embraces. Maybe forever is just a phrase. It's been erased from beautiful portraits. There's something I want to tell you, but now you're flying to another dimension. Gracefully, you get a touch of tender affection. All right, I hope you're there feel happier. That's all I want to say in my first letter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your beautiful poem again. Now I am going to poet Shaheen Reza to read out his final poem today. Now coming poet Shaheen Reza to read out his final poem today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toufiq. This is the last poem. So um, I'm very much conscious about it, but I want to read a short poem. ভেসে ওঠার প্রার্থনা ফলজ বৃক্ষের ভারে কুজো হয়ে আছে কাঁধ ডুবে যাচ্ছি আমি কে তুমি তুলবে আমাকে নরম কাদার মধ্য থেকে থকথকে দেহ আমি কি কোনো মাছ অথবা কোনো রঙিন পাখি আমার জন্য সাজিয়ে রেখো অ্যাকুয়ারিয়াম কিংবা সবুজ নেটের কোনো খাঁচা ডুবে যাচ্ছি আমি আমার দুটো হাতে বৃষ্টির ক্রুদ্ধ শিকল হে সময় হে অগ্নি হে সাহস তুমি ফেরাও আমাকে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ
Thank you. Thank you for your very beautiful poem you have to read now. Finally, I'm going to poet Soumit Basu to read out his last poem today. Now coming Soumit Basu. Thank you.
Thank you, Toufiq. Lord Krishna is God in our religion, but I consider him as human. I have a series named Krishna Katha. I'm reading number 20. কৃষ্ণ কথা সিরিজের 20 নম্বর কবিতাটি পড়ছি। শূন্যতা বলতেই ভেসে উঠল তোমার মুখচ্ছবি, তোমার নাকছাবি আলো করা মুখ, বাইরে ঢেউ তুলছে বাতাস, থরে থরে সাজানো বাতাস, সেই বাতাসের কাঁধে ভর করে জেগে উঠছে আবহমান। তুমি চোখ মুচ্ছ, পায়ের ক্ষত থেকে গড়িয়ে নামছে রক্ত স্রোত, এক বুক শূন্যতা মেখে তুমি বসে আছো গাছের উপর। ক্ষমতা বলতেই তোমার আঙুল জুড়ে ঘূর্ণায়মান স্রোতের প্রবাহ, গর্ভ থেকে ঠিকরে বেরোচ্ছে এক এক করে, বাঁশির টুকরো বেয়ে নেমে আসা সুর বিদ্রুপ করছে তোমাকে। অসংখ্য বিধবা সার সার দাঁড়িয়ে রয়েছে শুধু তোমারই প্রত্যাশায়। তুমি যন্ত্রণা মুচ্ছ তালুতে, সন্ততির ধ্বংস দেখে অভিশাপ জানাচ্ছে পিতৃপুরুষেরা, রক্তক্ষরণের দায় গায়ে মেখে ক্ষমতাহীনের মতো গাছের উপর তুমি নেতিয়ে পড়ছো ধীরে ধীরে। তুমি তো মানুষ ছিলে, কেন অকারণ দেবতা সাজার খেলা? তোমার হকের ভাত সামনে সাজিয়ে সে মেয়েটি কতকাল জীবন কাটাবে? তৌফিক।
Thank you. Thank you very much, poet Soumit Basu, for your excellent poem. Now I'm reading some visitors' opinion. Moumita Tazdin Marin is telling best wishes to all. Poet Kushal Bhomik is telling Shunchi. Lina Shaha is telling Bhalo Lakche Shunchi. Now I'm going to Annette Tarpley to read out her final poem today. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I recently wrote this, and I've been blessing a lot of people, so I'm going to read it. And it's this is what people tell me my children should read at my funeral someday. So, but it's called On Angel Wings. When my life on this earth is over, when my last breath is done, I will fly away on angel wings, my sights set on the rising sun. Over the mountains I will fly, passing the eagle along the way. I will feel no more pain and sorrow on this, the first of my eternal days. High above the vastest ocean, beyond the deepest blue sea, light and free-spirited my soul, elated at last, reveling in ecstasy. No more rivers shall I then cry, No more sad river, no more river shall I then shed, no more sad rivers will I cry. If a drop does befall my face, a tear of happiness will leave my eye. Remember me as one who has loved to the deepest core of my heart. An everlasting memory retain the moment we did last depart. This earth was but a short journey, sometimes lonely I did roam. Now that I have my angel wings, I'm flying off to home. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette Tarpley, for your beautiful poem. Now I'm going to request to read out his last poem. Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed is coming to read out his last poem today. Thank you.
All right, thank you very, very, very much. It's been a fantastic journey reading out the poems, and they've all kind of taken you through so many emotions. I want to leave you all with my last poem, which is a very positive poem, and it's called Thrive. And I think the last couple of years have tested all our endurance throughout the world. So this one is called Thrive, and again, it's from the last book, Stab the Pomegranate. Thrive. We don't just survive, we thrive in the most deadliest of terrain. Like flowing water, we make our way through rocks and stone. We rapture hearts, break through rocks and bone. When all is thrown at us, when the lights go out, when the wild waters begin to rise, we don't just survive, we thrive. We hang on to whatever we can find. We look on to never look behind. We float on and on. We shelter ourselves from the sun and rain, from bad vibes. They may cause us pain. We shower ourselves with light so clear and bright, a white light that ignites a flame deep inside of us. When the world throws us from side to side, we tumble and turn, we collide. Until we break through paths so brand new, we discover cracks between rocks and bone. We travel the world until we find the path that leads us to home. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant.
Thank you very much for your excellent poem. Now I'm going to Ntilia to read out her final poem today. Now coming Ntilia. Thank you.
My final poem is like a weather forecast. It's called Meteo. Each man is by himself many meteorological phenomenon. He releases storms out of the blue or lights up suns when everything predicts exactly the opposite, and it's likely to put on a coat even in August. Don't ask him why, you don't know his weather. Μέτεο. Κάθε άνθρωπος είναι από μόνος του πολλά μετεωρολογικά φαινόμενα. Απελευθερώνει καταιγίδες στα ξαφνικά ή ανάβει ήλιους όταν όλα προβλέπουν το αντίθετο και ενδέχεται Αύγουστο μήνα να βάλει και παλτό. Μην το ρωτήσεις γιατί, δεν ξέρεις τον καιρό του. That's all from me. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. One of the visitors' comments, Botiba Shabani is telling, great sir. Thank you very much. Stay with us. The program is going on. Now I'm going to Voula to read out her final poem today. Now coming, Voula Mimo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. It was a great experience for me. Thank you very much. It's a poem from poetry. Είναι κάτι φορές που η πένα με ληστεύει και με κάνει πυθύνει ο όργανό της. Τότε είναι που λες, ξέρω ακριβώς για που τραβάω. Τότε τραγουδάς δίχως νότες. Μιλάς μόνο με σιωπές και δεν γράφεις. Όχι, δεν γράφεις τίποτα. Σκίζεις κάθε τι γραμμένο, να μην χαλάσεις την αρμονία. Σε μακραίνει στο χώρο, σε εκείνο το φουγάρο του πλοίου που καταποντίστηκε στα ριχά, δίχως ενοχές και αναστολές. Λαχταράς το τότε. Ναι, αξίζει πολλά το τότε. Και λες, το αγίασμα το γιορτινό, λέβα του κόρφου σου. Ψίχουλα, το περβάζι που μου χλιάζουν. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and
Thank you
congratulations,
very
all
much.
of you.
Thank you again for your participations. Thank you very much. Our friend Gerlinde Staffler is internet problem, so he left the studio. Now coming, Yanita Ismail to read out her final poem today. Thank you. Please unmute your phone. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. This is the last poem. The title is In Reminiscence of 2020. I found every challenge in the last year back. Happiness, frustration, needed patience, because the life was on wrong track. Reminding every moment, behold it on the wrapping case, alone crawling jumbled wall. Nobody cared but their cynical gaze. Fragile heart needed charging when the disaster began to strike. The year was too fast running. The life wasn't easy to drive. Sinking in a tight slumber, erased some of miserable days. To get back my joys in the summer, which was blossom in a beautiful portrait. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yanit Ismail, for your beautiful poem. As we have to reach the last stage, finally, when we go out, before that, I want to read of my one poem. If the permission from poet Shaheen Reza and poet Soumit Basu, then I can read out my poem, one poem only. And finally, this poem I will read in first of all my native language, that is Bengali, the sweetest language, fourth sweetest language in world, declared by UNESCO. That is the Bengali language, and then I will read in my translate. First of all, I read in my native language, that is the Bengali. The title of the poem is Aguner Chulli. দিন রাত একাকী জাগে পাহাড়, সবুজ পাহাড়ে শনশন আওয়াজ করে কুয়াশা বাতাস। একটা পাহাড়ের দরজার সিটকিনি খুলে দিলাম, দাউ দাউ করে জ্বলে উঠল আগুনের চুল্লি। আগুনে সিদ্ধ হতে গিয়ে চোখের সামনে দেখি চিকেনের গ্রিল আহাজারি। এক ঘটি আতর ছিটিয়ে দিলাম, আগুনের চুল্লি হয়ে গেল ফুলের বাগান। প্রমিথিউস প্রথম আগুন এনেছিল পাহাড় থেকে, সভ্যতার কমলা আগুনে পুড়ে নগর হয় কয়লা। Thank you. Now it is translated in English. This poem is translated by Biplab Chakraborty from India. Fire Furnace. Title of this poem. The mountains wake up alone day and night. The fog winds down the green hills. I opened the latch of mountain door. The furnace of fire days. Going to be cooked in the fire, I see in front of my eyes chicken grill ahajari. I spring a jar of perfume. The furnace of fire became a flower garden. Prometheus first brought fire from mountain. The city is burned by the orange fire of civilization cool. Who does not know that the womb of hell flow through the bottom of the mountain? Thank you very much, everyone who are participating today. And finally, I am going to declare one of the happy news, that is in February 2022, we are going to arrange a World Poetry Festival in online that will be participated in 30 countries in globe with 150 poets will be participate there. I hope everybody will be join I, and almost we will invitation all the poet who are dedicated, who are giving the role, main role in this world now in poetry. So finally we are going to end now, and we started our language. The sky of poetry is one, and the tone of poetry is same, but the different type of poet from different country languages are different, but the tone of poetry is one. Today I think 5 to 6 languages poet are reading their poetry, but the rhythm of poetry we have to understand. The rhythm of poetry we have to understand, so we know what the poet read today. And like this, the Indonesian poet and the Greek poet who are read their poet, we don't understand, but the rhythm of the poetry we have to understand. So that is our heart. And finally, we are going to end this program now. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and also good night to everyone. Stay safe, be clean, and all time please hand sanitize to your hand. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.